Hey guys. Um, not the best day. We had a 3% drop, but I try not to look at it from a negative perspective. And what I mean by that is, at this point in AMC stock, I'd honestly rather see a 3% drop than more flat price action, opening and closing right around the same price, because it gives you more to think about when it comes to price action in the short term and what patterns you could possibly be forming. And so, what I find interesting about these last 8 days is a couple things. First of all, we haven't had a four candle print followed by a green followed by three since May. So that's the first thing. Another thing I find interesting is that this downward laddering type price action where it's just, legging down, legging down, legging down, legging down. It's interesting because it puts you in what could arguably be one of AMC's strongest supports since May, which is that 440 level. And what I can, predict from that within the next, I would say 1 to 3 days max, is a high volume move to the upside. How high to the upside? I'm not entirely certain. You could just for the short term, you could take 460. You could take 460 and say that there's a pretty good chance you're going to hit that in the next couple days. And I say that because every time you've touched 440 since May, you've had a pretty significant bounce, and not too far off of that day where you hit it. This was, this was all in one day. I believe this was a 15% drop or something like that. Came down to 440, and you pulled back up in the same day, which was awesome. Um, back here, you have this downtrend, short-term downtrend forming, and then you have a wick that extends out of it, and then you have this nice recovery right here. And then here's actually an interesting one because you have this little fat candle with no bottom wick that closes below 440. Next day, you have a little baby green day, and then you have a nice move to the upside. And I think that's could be what you're looking at here. And you don't have much of a wick down here. Fat candle uh, closes. I think we closed below 440 today slightly. So, if history repeats itself, I think you could see, maybe one more red day, maybe one more little red day, but then a big volume, big buying move to the upside. And from there, hopefully we can maybe build out some structure for a few days and then have a big move. Let's bring this up a little bit. Yeah, so this is disgusting. If I was day trading this, I would literally throw my entire bank account at it and sell it for a 20 cents per share gain in a couple days. I just cannot see it trading in this region for too long because of this structure. Um, yeah, and another thing I wanted to bring up was the Bollinger Bands. Yeah, so AMC doesn't really like trading outside of the Bollinger Bands. Most times it trades outside of it. You see at least short-term moves to the upside. Here. Um, yeah, so, and right here, believe you had a candle close outside of the Bollinger Bands a little bit, which would be an indication to me that on the short term, you're going to get sucked back into that. Um, so yeah, my sentiment hasn't changed at all. I still have the same thoughts. I'm still certain or pretty sure that this is going to have a really large move within the next couple weeks, month or two, give or take. But yeah, definitely bullish on the short term. It's oversold. I think the downtrend's over, closing outside of the Bollinger Bands, pushing us down to a very strong level of support. I think you should see a bounce within the next 1 to 3 days, I would say. But yeah, that's what I got.